Welcome to episode 9 of Feelings in Flannel. In this episode, we have Kayla Yackel joining us, and we're going to talk about how to lose a guy in 10 days. Stay tuned. Feelings in Flannel is hosted by us. I'm Adam.
I'm Amelia.
And we are a father-daughter combo who are setting out to debate the merits of love, romance, humor, and faith in rom-coms new and old.
Listen and join us as we seek to name the top 5 rom-coms and discuss masculinity and femininity together and how that plays into role. Make sure to like and subscribe and share it with your friends on social media.
Stay tuned. All right, here we are, episode 9. Our final guest to talk rom-coms in season 2.
Got a special, I don't know if treatment's the right word, but
There
honorable episode, I guess.
Yeah, so our guest tonight is Kayla Yackel. Welcome, Kayla.
Thank you.
You messaged me and said, I know what movie I want to bring, which was hilarious because you didn't know we were in the process of wrapping up the season. And we were so excited to have you on that we just added an episode to season 2.
Thank you. I
Just
appreciate
for
that.
you.
I appreciate it. I feel honored, honestly.
It was easy to let, I don't know, do you think it was easy to let one more guest on to lose? It's not hard to make decisions like that. So
Fair.
I had to sacrifice being okay with it being 11 episodes and not just even 10. So it bothers me. I don't know. The number 11 is just, like I said last time, it's a gross number. But
Thank you
I
for
think
your
it'll be worth it. Now, you're welcome. I like to think I'm a giving person.
I think those words are reserved for people that put their life on the line for our country. But
That's what
okay.
it feels like right now.
Well, I think I could either be fine with this or really regret this episode because I'm kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of pointed out, well, what guests didn't make you nervous, and I'm like, that's a fair point. But I really think that this one will because it's a good movie. I think you can make a good case for it. I'm really gonna try not to be biased, but I don't want my movie to be moved anymore. But anyway, so I could regret this generosity. Is what I'm saying.
We'll see what happens. I'm excited about the conversation. I really have enjoyed having guests on. Even, season 2's all been guests. Season 1 was not that at all. I've enjoyed both seasons, but it's been fun to have the dialogue. Mm-hmm. But contrary to what the people believe, I'm not that committed to the top 5. I genuinely don't care what's in the top 5. I don't get nervous that someone's going to knock it off like Amelia does. If any shady dealings have been done for us to win, it has only been from the heart of a father who wants to protect his daughter. And I make an appeal. I make an appeal to the audience. Please understand that. I love my daughter. That was very nice. Hey, somebody's got to defend me because no one else is.
Well, touche. But
I'm just kidding. But I don't care, really. Honestly, the top 5 could have turned over completely. It makes little difference to me. But I've enjoyed the conversations, and I have really enjoyed watching rom-coms.
I wish I could say that it wouldn't bother me and that I'm not that invested, but it really does at the end of the day. I would think I could lose sleep over it. If you've got mail got knocked out, which that can't happen, it's not going to happen. But just the thought of it gives me anxiety. So am I a little bit too much invested? Probably. But that's because I love this topic. I love rom-coms, and I've watched a lot of them. And I'm really passionate about mine. But this one's good, so I don't care if it's in the top 5, but I don't want it to be above mine.
You never do. Before we talk about what movie you brought, though, are you really into rom-coms? Is it a part of your world?
I do like rom-coms. I like several genres. I don't know if rom-coms are my favorite, but I do like a good rom-com, and I feel like there's so many that I love and could have been a contender, but you all have some tough criteria, I feel like. Some. Not all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So it was good.
What other genres are you really liking?
Well, I really love action movies. I love like the war genre, which I think could be
Yeah.
traumatizing for you, Amelia.
Actually, I like.
Do you?
It depends. I like Tom Hanks wars movies.
Oh, you're a
Wars.
Tom Hanks fan, it sounds like.
How many
maybe a
war
little.
movies has Tom Hanks done? You like Tom Hanks war movies? What a narrow market. It's like, let's see,
Well-
one.
No,
Saving Private Ryan?
and Midway,
I don't know that one.
or
I don't either.
there's another one somewhere out there.
That
that
doesn't sound right.
Okay, well,
We need a fact checker.
no, please don't. I don't want to look dumb again. I think, okay, maybe pretend I didn't say Tom Hanks.
Okay.
I like Tom
Forgotten.
Hanks. Any Tom Hanks plug, that's my shameless plug. I love Tom
Okay.
Hanks. But I do like war movies, actually.
Okay. Pearl
I've seen-
Harbor.
Good one.
I
haven't
feel like
seen that
that's
one,
all
actually.
encompassing. It has the rom, it has the com, it has the action.
So how war movie, like Band of Brothers?
No.
Okay,
That's
so
boring.
you're not.
No.
No, that's a great movie.
Maybe I need to.
Z-
Okay,
movies.
so I watched it when I was a kid. So I think, now that I'm a little older,
It's
a little more
slow.
mature.
I'll give you that. It's
Yeah.
slow, but it's really good.
I remember my brother watching it, and he was in the military, and so I think that's kind of where my love for war movies
Yeah.
came, and just to kind of see a realistic depiction of what they go through, our service members. Thank you for your service. For real.
That was legit.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so let's talk about the rom-com you brought. You sent this to us. Of course, we watched it. That's what we always do. But tell us what you brought, and then run it down for our audience. What's the movie about in a summary?
Okay, so the movie that I brought is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And if you haven't seen it, you're missing out, in my opinion. The movie is about two separate people. They don't know each other. They are both very career driven, and they are both kind of up for promotion, so to speak. And just by happenstance, they cross paths. But the gist of the movie is that I don't have the movie terms, but the main character, she has to lose a guy in 10 days by doing all the things that women do to drive men away, and he has to get a woman to fall in love with him. So that's the gist of the movie. And then they are both kind of competing for that together.
Yeah, it's kind of it's cool how they set it up, because there has to be an incentive for them to stay in it. And the incentive is their promotions, basically, their opportunities for their career. And
Advancement.
because they're career driven, it keeps them in it. And so one's trying to basically retain the other by falling in love, and the other's trying to drive them. And it creates this really funny interaction and dynamic between them.
And they don't know. Like, they don't know each other doing
Unbeknownst
that.
to them, yes, they're opposing forces.
Right. Until a certain point, which is inevitably going to happen, and conflict happens, and they split, and then you have the classic rom-com ending,
Yes.
chasing someone to the airport. It seems like they always end this way.
Yes.
It's a pursuit. Not giving up on them, right? Right.
Oh, stop it.
Right there. She already called it.
God would chase us to an airport.
What if God were one of us?
Huh?
Isn't that a 90s
I'm
song?
sorry. Yeah, it is. Sorry.
I love it. I love it.
That went over your head. I'm surprised. You're usually really good at the songs.
I thought you would know these. You're an old soul.
An 80s baby, even.
80s baby.
Well, I don't even know who I am anymore now. So
I
thanks
guess
for making
not.
me question my identity.
Tom Hanks' biggest fan.
That's who you
That's
are.
my identity now. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some criteria, see if we can point this thing out. Let's go ahead and just start with, and if there's some obvious ones, I think we'll call them, because then we can talk about the ones that are harder. But let's get into it. Let's do, I'll start. Let's do belonging. I want to start with that one because I don't see it. I was thinking about it this morning because I watched it again last night. The belonging piece, like a character's out of place. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
So I felt like mine was a little bit more abstract. I feel like they both are kind of out of place in the sense that she is trying to drive him away and he's trying to make her fall in love, but that's really, neither of them are like that. I feel like more so she is out of place because she's pretending to be somebody she's not. She's doing all these things like clingy, needy, whiny, all these things to try and gain a man's affection, and she would have never done that. So, and she's uncomfortable by it. You can tell there's scenes where she goes around the corner after she does something crazy and she's like, what did I do? So she is very uncomfortable. So I would say she's out of place in that regard.
I think it comes off more as because she is being something that she's not to play this role, which then makes her more inauthentic versus out of place. Like when we think of out of place, because we always established this kind of thing on Albert from Hitch. Albert's so authentic and genuine. He's just a goober, and he's out of place because of his natural state. And I think in this movie, both of them are kind of viewed from their opposing friends as the quintessential person you want to be with. You know, they're either athletic, successful, good looking, that kind of thing. And so they both fit those stereotypical roles. So I wasn't feeling it as out of place as much as inauthentic. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
It makes sense. You don't like it, but it makes sense. What do you think?
But it's out.
What do you think? I mean, I have been accused of twisting the rules.
True. But okay, let me think. Well, I didn't watch it because I forgot. But I've seen this enough times. Well, a couple of times. I think I can talk about it. This morning I was telling Dad, I'm like, I hope I can remember well enough. And I started saying stuff, and he was like, "You'll be fine." Because I was describing details of the movie. I'm like, "Is that in there?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." But if I remember, I don't think so. I just remember like her being kind of annoying.
Oh, ouch.
Not like, I mean, she's intentionally being annoying. That's the whole point.
Right.
But I don't
Yes,
remember
I
obvious out of place. So
I could talk about her going to his family's because she's not really a big relational person either.
True.
So in that setting, I believe she was also out of place.
I think she she became authentic in that, right? I think that one fills definitely one of the categories. So I can't with good conscience, Kayla, you know, we're friends. I appreciate you. I don't want to hurt you, but I'm gonna. I can't genuinely give it a point or even a part of a point. I didn't feel it.
Okay.
But I think what you just started to say goes to another category. But we'll see where that one is.
I think one of these days we're going to need audiences to weigh in. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
What are you criteria? What do you want to do?
I'll do the shift, which is like, it's usually pretty obvious, you know, the music. I feel like I say it all the time, but, you know, cameras, you're like, oh, they're starting to think about this person differently than they were at the beginning of the movie.
I feel like that one was pretty obvious. As you said, it should be. You know, throughout the entire movie, she's trying to drive him away. He's trying to win her affection. And they're both being, as Adam said, inauthentic. But then they go to his parents in, I think, Staten Island. And they go away for the weekend or for the day, I don't know. And she starts to let her defenses down. And he kind of is always, I feel like, for the most part, has been himself. But you can tell in, we'll just call it the bathroom scene, when they're sitting there and she starts to cry and she's just grateful for his family and the way that his mom treats her. And there's just a shift. That's the only way really to describe it, in their feelings for one another.
Yeah. I think in that too, the first time you see it is the first shift, because there is a couple. The first shift though is when they arrive at the family and he immediately takes his nephew, who's a baby, takes the nephew and wants to spend time with the nephew. And then you find out just moments later that he took him to play with him, but ended up like changing his diaper and all this kind of stuff. And you can see her view of him, seeing this is a domesticated man, because he kind of comes off as a player, as it makes him out to be, because he was. But that, I think, was the beginning. And then through spending time with the family, you can see her shifting. His shift comes when she walks out for the party in that yellow dress. Right. I think she's on the stairs. It's like a classic scene. So definitely a full point here. There's no arguing that. There's more than one, and they're all oriented towards shifting their, from trying to win to maybe I actually really appreciate or love this person.
Yeah, have feelings.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's a full point.
Full point. All right. So how about patient pursuit? Creative and patient?
I think it is very creative.
It's creative.
He is, and patient, really. He is pursuing her 100%. And unfortunately, it starts out as a bet.
Yeah.
He's trying to get her to fall in love with him so that he can win this marketing account. And he is fully pursuing her and patiently pursuing her through her crazy. So,
Through her crazy, because she is pouring it on.
Thick.
Hardcore. And, at the end of the movie, when she is leaving in the cab, and he literally just rises with a moped thing.
Yeah. So
It's a motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Oh, I'm thinking of...
Yeah, moped. It's a Harley.
I'm thinking of The Wedding Planner. Remember, he gets on the moped with the Italian guy. It's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
McConaughey. It's Matthew McConaughey as well. He looks much better in this movie than he
better.
did.
I can't believe I just said that out loud.
The accusations might be
I'm
true.
so sorry.
But
yes, you're right. He didn't have bleach blonde hair. He's more mature.
He's a beautiful man.
Okay, I'm not going there, but whatever.
So yeah, I think that would be part of it. It's I don't know, creative or patient, but it's a pursuit.
What's so interesting is his creative pursuit is something she has to combat because it's working, and you can see at times where she has to pause and kind of think, how do I go crazy on this one?
Yeah.
Their first date, if you caught this, their first date, they go out to dinner and they're eating crab. And so they're cracking the show. It's a mess. And it looks like, what a cool evening. How to be on a first date to be that messy. There's something about that's kind of, again, authentic. And then he decides he's going to make her dinner at his apartment, makes this whole lamb base. It was all this time he spends in it. And there's at least 5 minutes of the actual movie dedicated to watching him slave over this meal. And then he serves it, and you can see that she's going, this is amazing.
I have to do something.
How do I trash this? And so then she starts crying and says, if only I ate meat. Their first date was eating meat.
The first time I noticed that was this last time I watched it, where I'm like, she's not a vegetarian.
Right.
And
he knows that.
We knew that, but he should have known that.
He should have known that. Yeah, I think that's the part. It's like his pursuit is no doubt creative, and the patience comes in because she keeps trying to undermine all of it. The unfortunate part of it is I think there's no real pursuit of her to him because she's trying to do the exact opposite of that. right? So I think in that regard, it pulls it down some, but to like 3/4 of a point. I mean, what do you think?
I just went to fractions and sorry, I just had a PTSD. I forgot we did quarter points now. Yeah, I was thinking like his pursuit of her. I feel like at the beginning was the bet. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, fine, this is easy, no problem." But then his pursuit shifts from like a bet or something he's trying to win to like genuinely wants to be with her. So then like we get to see. I mean, I don't know. I guess because it's not both ways.
Yeah,
it
but
is him.
But honestly, that was unfair probably to the guest who we forced that on, which happened to be, we won't talk about it.
She's so bitter.
It doesn't change the fact she would have lost anyways. So, let's call it a point and go, because his pursuit is so patient
Strong.
and so creative the whole movie. It almost pulls weight for both sides. So let's call it 1 so we can keep moving. So you currently are at 2 points.
Yes.
Okay, we're doing well. Your criteria.
I'll go to. I forgot mine. Oh, let's do Giddy Girly, which is all the heart squeezes and the best parts of the rom-com.
Yes. Well, I found this movie interesting because I feel like the first half of the movie is all com. And then the second half is where it kind of turns into rom. So I really didn't start feeling heart squeezes until the second half of the movie when she goes to Staten Island, visits this family. So in that regard, I mean, there is one small moment in the beginning when they go on their first date when he tells her that she looks pretty cute in his helmet. So it's kind of like a half a squeeze.
Yeah.
But
Half a squeeze.
What's a half a squeeze sound like you think?
almost there.
Yeah.
But then when she goes to visit the family, obviously all of that's really sweet. He teaches her how to drive his motorcycle, and that's a cute part.
True.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and then the bathroom scene, of course, I love because they're sitting there and he's like tender with her for really, I mean, it seemed like the first time that he was authentically tender with her. And obviously we talked about how it's her first time being authentic as well. So it was just the whole visit to the family was one giant heart squeeze for me.
Oh, definitely. And of course the yellow dress.
The yellow
scene.
dress, iconic.
Yep. And at the end.
So
And when he actually squeezes his heart when he sees her.
Yes.
He does.
That's so true.
He
gosh.
does.
She got
It's
to get
true.
like bonus points for that one.
Yeah, an extra point.
I'm just kidding.
What are you
She's not
doing?
kidding.
I'm
She
sorry.
called it Judge.
I got caught up in the moment. I'm sorry.
He embraced his cardiac.
He does. In that moment.
He embraced his
So to
cardiac.
talk, in my opinion, the heart squeeze, it's yours to call on point. But in my opinion, to actually talk about the biggest heart squeeze of the thing, you have to talk about at the family when they're all sitting on the porch playing a card game that they call BS. Literally, they say it. All right. And so the trick is who can more or less observe someone BSing. And so when you think they're BSing in the card game, you call BS. Okay, so then later, as he chases her down in this moment, catches up with her in the cab. She's on her way to airport, of course. And then they pull over, and she basically says, in some ways, I don't want what you think I want. And she's walking back to the cab, walking out of his life. And right before she gets in the cab, he says, BS. And she stops and she turns around and says, what did you just say to me? And he walks over to her. Now they're kind of in the same shot, face to face.
In kissing range.
In kissing range. And he says it again, only slower. He says BS. That is a cool moment. That is no doubt a heart squeeze because it shows the knowing and all the other stuff. I thought that was a really good one.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're giving a point here.
Duh. I mean, that's obvious. I knew that coming in. I'm like, she's going to get a point for that one because there was a lot. I think my biggest one was with the family because, I don't know, something about rom-coms when the person blends with their family, like in While You Were Sleeping or, sorry, I can't think of any other ones, but in this one, like when the family falls in love with them and they fall in love with his or her family, to me, that's just makes the movie even better.
Yeah.
Oh, Notting Hill. That's the one I was thinking of. Like it's also a part of knowing the other person, which that's a different criteria. But I think it makes it that much more of a heart squeeze because you get to see they get to see them in their natural, with their safe
habitat.
Place, with their family, their habitat, their family. They feel safe, so they're just relaxed.
Yep.
And then you get to see her fit right in, and then she's her authentic self. So it's like her real self fits with his family, even though she kind of forgets about the bet for a minute, or the goal of what she's trying to do for a minute. And then the baseball game, I thought there was a hard squeeze with is there a baseball game?
I don't remember a baseball. Oh, a basketball game.
Basketball.
Oh. Basketball, baseball. What's the difference? Anyways.
Sports movies next.
No,
There we
I
go.
can't do sports movies. I feel like there was a hard squeeze in there, but I can't remember that
The
super
kiss
well.
cam, probably.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Honorable mention, too, is his boss, determining whether or not she's in love with him at the
party.
launch or whatever it is with the diamonds. And the boss is saying, I'll be the judge of whether or not she's in love with you. And he goes up to her and he's very sly and says, nothing shines brighter than a woman in love. And she is adamant, like, no, I'm not. I couldn't be in love. And he determines from that she is, in fact, in love with him. And so I feel like even though Ben's technically not in that scene, or Matthew McConaughey, his character, that is a cute moment, in my opinion.
And as he's walking away, the boss is walking away, she says, "Don't tell him."
Yeah, please.
So
don't
you
tell
can
him.
see she acknowledges it.
Yeah.
So we got 2 criteria left, and then the bonus. We got about 5 minutes, so we're doing well. But we're right now at a score of 3 of the 4 we've done. We got 2 more plus bonus. So let's talk about redeeming, and to spare some time here, I think there's a point in redeeming, the redemption component. Because the way it's mostly her. So I'm curious what you think. But she changes. She was so judgmental to her friend who was committing all of these dating faux pas. And I think after going through this and trying to commit them intentionally, she realized in a lot of ways that that's not worth judging, because once you fall in love, you do stupid stuff. Right, to kind of hold that. So I think there's a redemption of that in the way that she views people that fall into those faux pas, and that fits the criteria. But what did you see in it?
What I saw was the character of Ben tends to be more of a womanizer.
True.
And he says that in the beginning, I can make anyone fall in love with me. It doesn't matter who it is. And then by the end, it's like all he wants is for her to fall in love with him. So I really felt like there was a lot of redemption with him in that. And then, of course, she's just wonderful. And she allows her defenses to come down and lets him in. So I do think there is a full point in that redemptive component. Yeah,
you're right. Even his friends, when they said they made a joke about him having to actually have to see her more than one day, because that wasn't his norm. So you're right, the womanizer part.
And I feel like, at least for her, her redemption, part of it, I think, plays into she kind of was so focused on career. Like, she wanted to get that promotion. Like, he was just a pawn in that. And then she's kind of willing to sacrifice what she worked so hard for to be like, he's worth it kind of a thing. So that was part of the redemption.
Because when he's chasing her, it's because she left her job to go pursue another job in a different state. So I agree.
So you got 2 of my 3. You currently have 2 of Amelia's 3. So you're sitting at 4 points. Well, your last criteria before the bonus.
Yeah, my last one is cute moments that show they know each other, which is kind of inadvertently goes hand in hand with heart squeezes most of the time. They're the same scene, but we already touched on it a little bit. I think when with the BS thing, that was a moment like he knows.
You know, I didn't even put that in my notes.
Oh,
the
my.
BS thing. This is where I felt like they really knew each other, and it's iconic, and it hasn't even come up yet, is when they sing together at the end at the party. So they find each other out. She realizes she's a part of a bet, and he realizes that she's using him for a story, and she wants to embarrass him and calls him up to do a song, and then rushes off the stage. He comes up on the stage and turns it into a duet, and he chooses a song that he knows she knows well, which was You're So Vain by Carly Simon. So that I feel like he did well in showing that he knew her. And then when he chases her down, he brought the love fern from her desk.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I forgot about the love
Yes.
bird. Are you gonna let our love die? But yeah, I think that one I really liked that song. I don't know why. As a kid, I just thought we listened to that all the time in Mom's car, and probably didn't even understand what she was saying when I was singing it as a kid. But like, I love that song.
We do.
So that makes that scene. I mean, it was comical.
Yeah.
But like, you could also see for both of them, you can see like they really actually loved each other because they could see the hurt on both sides. Like when she actually left, because they were both mad, and then whatever they left. And what she say? She said, "You can't lose something you never had."
Yeah.
Iconic line.
It just hurts your heart. That's not a heart squeeze, but that's. I think that it's a
heart wrench.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Invented just a new term.
New term.
The heart wrench. Cardiac embrace. Heart squeeze and a heart wrench.
So I think mine would be a full point for that one because I mean it's definitely there.
So you're at 5, and we all know what's about to happen with the bonus because
There's some good
bonus is
music in
soundtrack,
there.
and there is some really good music in this
Very
movie.
good.
There is. So it's kind of my favorite kind of soundtrack because it's kind of all over the place. I did look it up just so I had a list, but I wanted to hear them throughout the movie. So I looked them up, and then I'm like, oh, that's where that is. There's Somebody Like You by Keith Urban. Let's Stay Together, Al Green. Obviously, You're So Vain by Carly Simon. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but that Feels Like Home song when the shift happens.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah, Feels Like Home by Chantel. I do not know how to say her last name, but shout
I
out
think you should try.
her.
Shout out.
It starts with a K, I think.
Chantel K.
I think it's a different country, which I'm sorry. But yeah, there's a lot of, what was the name of that song? I don't know it well, but I know it from this movie and I really like it. It's Follow You Down by Jen Blossoms. I thought that was,
Yep.
it's like I think it's when he's chasing her down,
Yeah, it
chasing
is.
her.
It is. I thought it was a great use of that song.
Yeah, very upbeat. Surprisingly, upbeat. It's from the movie.
So that makes it 6.
Oh boy.
I know. This is the problem, Kayla.
This is where-
First of all, congratulations.
Thank
that
you.
was
Appreciate that.
that was well done. The movie's entertaining. I think here again we find a movie where if the female side of the relationship says, "Let's watch this," the guy's going to enjoy the movie. Yeah. It is an enjoyable movie. It's entertaining. It's got quite a bit of comedy. I didn't notice, I guess, it moves more from comedy to romance.
Yeah.
But it's got funny stuff all the way through it. And it's good. So 6, but that creates a problem because it creates a multiple tie, and we still haven't figured out how to solve for the tie. But it puts you kind of in the top 5. There's so
Okay.
many 6s
Okay.
that we don't know how to solve for it. We have we have some scoring issues, but the audience, if they've been paying attention, knows we've had scoring issues for a long time. We just keep ignoring it.
And maybe we can just make it a top 7. Everybody wins.
we might end up with a top. Here's the top 10. after 2 seasons of doing this. But great job.
Thank
6
you.
points
Thanks
out of
for
7.
having me.
That's really good.
It's so interesting because, like, my brain, like, I'm so rule oriented. Like, I don't want to break rules. So as a kid, I remember watching this for the first time at my friend's house, this movie. She loved it. And I thought it was so inappropriate. I thought it was the raunchiest movie ever, solely based on the bathroom scene. And
which it's done not too
I watched
compared to
when I watched it not too long ago. I was like, this is nothing compared to some movies now. I just remember thinking, like, I'm just bought myself a one-way ticket to hell watching that movie.
Aww.
And it's not even that bad. So now, like, because that was like rooted, now when I hear that movie, I always associate, like, that's a bad movie. Like, you can't watch that. But then when I watched it the other day, I was just like, this is a wonderful movie. So it's just interesting how that happens, because I'm like, oh, can we even, like, talk about this movie on the podcast? Yes. It's not a bad
we
movie.
can.
I have an idea.
What?
I think that I could maybe squeeze out possibly another quarter point
Oh, no. For what?
for out of place. It just came to me.
Okay.
Okay.
It just came to me.
You got 30 seconds to make your case.
She works at Composure magazine. However, her desire is to write about Composure magazine is like a modern day Cosmopolitan where it's like fashion, shoes,
Oh,
girly
Kayla.
things. But she wants to write about politics and foreign matters and all kinds of things that are not fashion. So she is out of place. Could help your dilemma, but she is out of place. I didn't think of it till just now.
Could help the dilemma, but then that goes above You've Got Mail.
Who's the cheater now? That's what I'm saying.
I own my bias, so it doesn't count.
Thank you for making a case for that again. I'm going to leave that right where it is because
Okay.
we are at time. But that was fantastic. Saved by the bell, everybody. That's how that works out. Kayla, it's been good having you on. I hope you enjoyed it. You're a super fan. I know you watch every episode,
I
and
love
we appreciate that.
I'm glad y'all are doing this.
We'll
Thanks
see.
for having
You're
me.
going to help us talk through what we're going to do for season 3.
I'm very excited.
So you'll be a part of that behind the scenes at
Yes.
least.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. But that was good. Thanks for bringing that. Again, it's an entertaining movie. So
All right.
great job. You end every episode the same way.
Head nod.
It's my signature.